So in today's lab session, we have M1 batch, M2 batch, M3 batch, and M4 batch. All the batches are present. For M1 and M2, we have completed the discussion on reaction of beams. For M3 and M4, that discussion is pending. However, the video for the second part, which is pending, is already available on YouTube. We are also going to discuss that, but little later. Uh, Today, we are going to start with new experiment so that it will be convenient for both the batches, all the four batches, and that is belt friction. Are you with me? So M1 and
So,
M2 remaining part of reaction of beam, we will discuss it later. Yeah, go ahead.
so just one thing, can you reopen that form because some of them were not able to fill it on time due to some net issues?
No, only one student has not filled it. All
Only
others I
one.
have received.
Okay.
Yes. So I will.
Sir,
Yes, go ahead.
sir, did you call my name?
Yeah, but now you can unmute yourself, Shivam. I will call you in some time.
Okay, sir.
Right now, I think Sahil is already on unmute. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. So we are going to start with a new experiment today, and that is belt friction. So before we go to belt friction, let us try and understand few concepts pertaining to friction itself. And mind you, I'm not going to repeat this discussion during theory class. So we have a chapter on friction there. So this discussion, conceptual discussion, is directly applicable to that unit or that chapter. So whenever I'm going to teach that chapter, I'm going to give you the reference that before next class, you are going to refer to this section. Are you with me? Sahil?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So let us go ahead now. Let us perform a thought experiment. Let us say this is a tabletop.
Sir, actually, you might receive some noise disturbance from my side because some construction work is going under my flat.
Okay. So then in that case, Shivam, can you unmute yourself? Shivam? Okay. Vaidehi, can you unmute yourself? Resume recording. So let us consider this is a book or a duster which is placed on tabletop. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
And you are going to apply a force like this on this duster. Now, can you tell me uh, what is the direction of frictional force that this duster is going to experience based on your 11th and 12th standard?
Sir, it will experience force opposite to the direction of force applied.
Okay, so it is going to experience a frictional force, something like this. This is what you are trying to say.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, what is the cause of this frictional force? Can you tell me the cause? So let us perform another thought experiment. Let us say you have two bodies in space. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Two bodies in space. And let us say these are massless bodies. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So they don't have any mass. Anyway, we are performing a thought experiment. So these are the massless bodies, and they are just in contact with each other. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Now, if I try to apply a force on this body, can you tell me how much frictional resistance force can exist between these two surfaces in contact? What is the maximum value of frictional resistance that can prevail between these two surfaces in contact? Any answer to this?
Sir, they are equivalent to their normal reaction.
I gave you the situation. The bodies are in space, isolated. They are massless, so there is no question of any gravitational force between one another. Now, they are just in contact. So, what is the maximum frictional resistance that can prevail between the two bodies at surface of contact?
Sir, mu n.
You told the same answer in other fashion, mathematical fashion. I want you to tell me what is n in this
Sir,
case.
normal reaction.
What is that n in this case? बोलो. Okay, I accept that it is normal reaction. Normal to what is my question?
Normal to weight.
They are massless. There is no gravitational field. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
हाँ, तो क्या होना चाहिए बोलो? N क्या होना चाहिए? Normal to what is the question? Okay, so to answer this question, what I am going to do is we are going to consider why the frictional force comes into existence. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So let us say this is object number 1, which is in contact with another object. If you macroscopically look at the surface, it is going to have crests and troughs. Do you agree with me? None of the surface can be perfectly smooth. Are you with me?
Yes, sir. Yes,
So
sir.
this is object number 1. Happy? And you are going to have another object which has crests and troughs like this. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
This is the second object.
Sir,
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead. Okay, this is the second object. Are you with me? Siddharth?
sir, there is construction work going on in my home.
Ahead. So we have these two objects which have a common surface in contact. That surface is not going to be smooth. It is going to have crests and troughs. Do you agree with me, Shauna?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, if there is a tendency of relative sliding between the two objects along this common surface, are you with me?
Yes.
If
Yes.
there is a tendency of relative sliding between these two objects along the common surface, then there is going to be a frictional resistance. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
That frictional resistance will come into the action only and only when this crest and troughs are interlocked. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
So what is going to ensure the interlocking? The interlocking between the crest and troughs of these two surfaces will be ensured by a normal thrust. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
If you have a force like this, then only there is a possibility of interlocking between the crest and troughs of these two surfaces, these two objects in contact at a common surface. Happy?
Yes.
Okay. So we have to understand when we say normal reaction, first of all, that reaction has to be compressive in nature. Are you with me? If it is in this direction,
Yes.
is it going to cause the interlocking of troughs and crests? No. In
No.
fact, it will try to separate the object. Are you with me?
Yes.
So therefore, only and only when this reaction is thrust in nature, thrust matlab compressive in nature. Are you with me?
Yes.
Then only there is a possibility of interlocking between crest and troughs of two objects at a common surface. Happy?
Yes.
Okay. So we understood that this reaction is compressive in nature. Normal to what is the next question. So if I have to have these crests and troughs interlocked, then this force, not only it has to be compressive in nature, it also has to be normal to this common surface. Are you with me?
Yes.
So normal to the surfaces in contact is the meaning of normal force. Happy? Are you
Yes.
with me? So दो चीजें हमें समझ में आई. कौन सी? Point number 1, the force has to be normal to what? Force has to be normal to the surface, both the surfaces in contact. Are you with me?
Yes.
And it has to be compressive in nature. And that normal thrust is going to ensure the interlocking of these crests and troughs within one another. And that is going to give rise to the frictional resistance, because then if you have to have this relative sliding, then you will have to break this interlocking between crest and troughs. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So there is obviously another observation or another interpretation that we can make is, as the magnitude of n goes on increasing, the frictional resistance that can be offered between the two surfaces is also going to go on increasing. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So therefore, I understand that as the normal reaction increases or this normal thrust increases, the frictional resistance that can be offered between the two surfaces also goes on increasing. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Now the question remains is whether this N is directly proportional to this frictional resistance, that, or in other words, is this frictional resistance directly proportional to normal reaction? That means, is the relationship linear? If I double the normal reaction, is frictional force going to get doubled, is the question. Or whether this Fr varies as exponential function n power e of this frictional force. Are you with me?
Yes.
Now this can be found out only by doing an experiment. Are you with me? You cannot
Yes.
predict what should be this relationship just merely based on the theory. No, you will have to perform an experiment and then you will have to derive the relationship. Are you with me?
Yes.
तो दो चीजें तो क्लियर है. एक, दो सरफेसेस जो कांटेक्ट में है उनको नॉर्मल थ्रस्ट होना चाहिए, तो ही दो सरफेसेस के बीच में फ्रिक्शनल फोर्स एग्जिस्टेंस में आ सकता है. आर यू विथ मी?
Yes.
And as that normal thrust goes on increasing, the frictional resistance that can be offered between the two surfaces also should go on increasing. But whether it will increase linearly or whether it will increase as an exponential function of n normal reaction, we have to see that we have to see that by performing a experiment. Happy?
Yes, sir.
ओके, तो यहां तक तो ठीक है. अब जरा फिर से लेट अस रिविजिट दिस एग्जांपल. यू हैव टू massless objects in this space devoid of gravitational fields of all the planets, isolated, only two objects are there. They are massless, so they do not have gravitational force of attraction between one another as well. Are you with me?
Yes.
And they are just in contact along this common surface. Now what I am asking is, what is the maximum frictional resistance that can prevail between these two surfaces? Tell me.
It will be the coefficient
will
of
be?
friction
Huh?
into the mass of the object. But no, the force applied.
Did we discuss coefficient of friction till now?
No.
No. So that means clearly the answer is not going to lie in coefficient of friction. अब तक हमने क्या डिस्कस किया? फ्रिक्शनल रेजिस्टेंस डिपेंड्स ऑन व्हाट?
Reaction force applied.
हाँ, not only reaction force, it is thrust that is present between the two common surfaces perpendicular to the surfaces. Are you with me?
Yes.
तो अब जरा यहाँ पे अगर फ्रिक्शनल फोर्स एग्जिस्ट होना है तो क्या मुझे ऐसा थ्रस्ट चाहिए या नहीं चाहिए? टेल मी.
Yes.
And who is going to cause that thrust? These are massless objects. They are not going to pull each other towards one another. Gravitational force नहीं है. So is there any thrust in this example?
Mm,
Are you with me?
There won't be any thrust.
There won't be any thrust. Therefore, this thrust is zero and this thrust also is zero. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Okay. So therefore, the frictional resistance that can prevail between these two surfaces is zero, because there is nothing to get their crests and troughs interlocked. Are you with me?
Yes.
तो zero रहने वाला है. Now, let us perform this experiment in a slightly modified fashion. Let us say these are the two objects in space. Are you with me?
Yes.
This is the common surface between the two objects. This is object number 1 and this is object number 2. Happy?
Yes.
Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
These objects are subjected to unbalanced force as shown here. So this is the force on object number 1. I am going to call it as F1. Are you with me? And this
Yes,
is the
sir.
force acting on object number 2, which is F2. And these two forces are perpendicular to this line. Are you with me?
Yes.
And F2 is equal to F1. It has to be for equilibrium. We will see that later. Let me call it as F itself. So दोनों forces को F ही बोलता हूँ. Are you with me?
Yes.
F and F. Now can you tell me what is the maximum frictional resistance that can be offered between the two surfaces? It is going to be non-zero. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Fine. So this resistance is going to be non-zero. Now I am going to perform an experiment, thought experiment. Obviously, I have not yet uttered the word coefficient of static friction. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
अभी तक वो word मैंने utter किया ही नहीं है. What I am going to say is, चलो देखो, this is the force P. That I am going to apply on these two objects along the surface in contact. Are you with me?
Yes.
Just let me know when this P is equal to Fr max. Fr max. Can I say the relative motion between the two bodies along the common surface is impending?
Please what?
Impending. This corresponds to impending motion. So impending का मतलब क्या होता है? Motion अभी चालू तो नहीं हुआ है, लेकिन P को आप इससे थोड़ा सा और बढ़ा दो, the motion will begin. Are you with
Yes.
me?
Yes. Yes.
So whenever this P assumes the value of Fr max, that means the maximum frictional resistance that can be offered at these common surfaces or at these surfaces in contact, उसके जितना ये P की value हो जाए, that is the state when the motion is impending. Are you with me?
Yes.
If I increase P slightly beyond this, then the relative motion between the two surfaces is going to commence. Happy?
Yes.
चलो अब जरा यहाँ पे देखो, एज ए आउटकम ऑफ दिस एक्सपेरिमेंट आई एम गोइंग टू प्लॉट ए ग्राफ. थॉट एक्सपेरिमेंट है. आई एम गोइंग टू गो ऑन इंक्रीजिंग द वैल्यू ऑफ एफ की वैल्यू बढ़ाते जाऊंगा. एफ इज द नॉर्मल फोर्स टू द कॉमन सरफेस इन कॉन्टैक्ट. आर यू विथ मी?
Yes, sir.
हाँ, ये एफ की वैल्यू में बढ़ाते जाने वाला हूं. एंड आई एम गोइंग टू रिपोर्ट the value of P for impending motion. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
The value of P required to cause a state where motion is impending. That means, in other words, what I am trying to plot, maximum frictional resistance that can be offered between the two surfaces. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
This I am going to plot it on y-axis. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Shaunak, mute yourself. Siddharth Iyer, can you unmute yourself? Siddharth Iyer. Okay. Siddharth, are you there? Tanmay More, can you unmute yourself? Tanmay?
Hello, sir.
Yes. Are you with me till this point?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now I am performing a thought experiment where I am going to go on increasing f. So when f is equal to 0, that means I am here. What can you say? What is the value of P which causes the bodies to be on the verge of impending motion? What is the value? Tell me, what is the maximum frictional resistance when f is 0? Tanmay, you have muted yourself. Can you unmute? Tanmay? Am I audible? Tanmay, can you
Yes, sir.
unmute yourself? Yeah. Tanmay, can you unmute yourself? Hello. Okay. Now, F is equal to 0 when the normal force between the two surfaces is 0. At that time, what is the value of P at which the motion is impending? That means, in other words, I am asking you, what is the maximum frictional resistance that can prevail between these two surfaces? 0?
Yes, sir.
Yes, because the F is 0, therefore the frictional resistance is 0. There is nothing to interlock the crests and troughs. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, as I go on increasing this F जैसे जैसे बढ़ाते जाता हूँ, वैसे वैसे I know that the P required for motion to be impending or the maximum value of frictional resistance between the two surfaces is going to go on increasing. Happy?
Yes, sir.
But the question is, how does it increase? Does it increase in this fashion? Does it increase in this fashion? Or does it linearly increase? Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Is the question. So if you perform this experiment by changing the material of these two objects, by changing the cross sectional area, etc., 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 ये सारी चीजें आप चेंज करके एक्सपेरिमेंट करते हो, to your surprise, you will find that this graph is going to be linear. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So that means the maximum frictional resistance that can be offered between the two surfaces is directly proportional to F. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
This F is also the normal force or normal thrust. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
This normal thrust we can also denote by notation N. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So this is the graph that you are going to obtain. Linear one. Now, what is the slope of this graph? How do you find out slope of this graph? Tell me. So what I do is, slope is delta y upon delta x. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So it is in this case going to be equal to delta p upon delta n. Do you agree
Yes,
with
sir.
me? So I will choose 2 points where delta n is forced to be unity. ये 2 points ऐसे है जिसमें if this is n1 normal reaction 1 and this is normal reaction 2, or this is f1 and f2. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
I have chosen this n1 and n2 in such a fashion that n2 minus n1 is unity. Happy?
Yes.
Then if delta n is 1, what is the slope of this graph? Can you tell me?
Delta P.
Slope of this graph is going to be change in P. Are you with me? So ये अगर 1
Yes.
है तो change in P. How do I denote change in P between these 2 points? This is change in P. Do you agree?
Yes.
That delta P itself becomes the slope. Agreed?
Yes.
And this slope, I denote it as coefficient of static friction between the two surfaces. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So what is coefficient of static friction between the surfaces? If I plot this graph, ये straight line आने वाला है, उसका जो slope रहता है, that slope is mu s. Happy?
Yes.
So how do I write the relationship between the normal reaction and maximum frictional resistance that can be offered between the surfaces? कैसे लिखूं? Fr max. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Is equal to, बोलो, mu s times n.
Delta M.
Not delta n, mu s times n. Are you with me? As this graph passes through origin, it is going to be mu s times n. Happy?
Yes. Yes,
Y
sir.
is equal to mx. And now, what is this Fr max? It is the maximum frictional resistance that can be offered at the surfaces in contact when the normal thrust is n. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And now, as we are interested only in maximum frictional resistance that can be offered, therefore, many times we drop this suffix max. Are you with me? And we simply say frictional resistance is equal to mu s times n. Happy?
Yes, sir.
अब आपको ये ध्यान में रखना है कि when I say Fr is equal to mu s times n, that is valid only and only when there is a impending motion, or this Fr corresponds to Fr max. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
I will clarify what I mean. जरा यहाँ पे ध्यान दो. Suppose at particular value of P, this is, let us say this is the force F acting on a body. These are the two surfaces in contact. So this N normal force is going to be equal to F. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
This P, if it does not cause the body to be in impending motion, that means this P is small enough such that the body is not about to slide. In that case, I cannot say that the frictional force is mu s times n. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
It is equal to mu s times n only and only when P is about to slide the block on the ground. Maximum frictional resistance is mu s times n. Happy?
Yes, sir.
चलो, अब मैं आपको दूसरा सवाल. So you have understood this. This is called as law of friction. Are you with me? This is called as law of friction. Graphical representation, and this is mathematical representation of law of friction. The second question that I'm going to ask you now is this. Let us say you have these two bodies made up of particular materials. You change their material and you repeat this procedure. Are you with me? आपने ये procedure
Yes, sir.
repeat किया and you got the graph like this. हाँ, ये ग्राफ मिल गया आपको between Fr max and F. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So what has happened to mu? Has mu increased or has mu decreased?
Mu has increased.
Mu has increased. मतलब जरा देखो, this delta P has increased. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Mu has increased. So what is the meaning of increase in mu? That means the surfaces have become rougher. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
The surfaces have become more rough. इसका मतलब है कि mu s बढ़ गया. Happy?
Yes.
चलो, if you change the material and surface characteristic of a body further and you get a new graph, something like this. So what does it mean? The graph has become linear. इसका मतलब क्या हुआ है? The mu s has dropped down. हाँ, mu s drop down हुआ है. तो mu s drop down हुआ मतलब the surfaces have become relatively smooth. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
They have become smoother. Now, tell me, if these surfaces are perfectly smooth, that means there is a lubrication in between. There is no friction at all. Ideal condition, idealistic condition, but there is no friction at all. Imaginary condition. In that case, how should this graph look like? Tell me.
So it will be x-axis.
Yes, it will be a horizontal line. So this horizontal line corresponds to the smooth surfaces in contact. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
What about when? Imagine that these two surfaces, they become chemically bound. They become integral part of one another. So theoretically, up to infinite value of P, there is not going to be any sliding. तो उस केस में वो ग्राफ कैसे होगा? बताओ, ये ग्राफ.
It will be y-axis.
It will be along the y-axis. So here, these are infinitely rough surfaces. Are you with me?
Yes.
rough. Can you tell me for smooth surfaces what is the value of mu s?
0.
0. So mu s is going to be 0. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
What is the value of mu s for infinitely rough surfaces?
Infinity.
Infinity. So these two are ideal cases. These two are hypothetical cases. None of the surfaces are going to be perfectly smooth or infinitely rough. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So for any practical surfaces in contact, you are going to have this graph lying within these two limits. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
As the graph approaches y-axis, the surfaces become more and more rough. As the graph approaches x-axis, the surfaces become more and more smooth. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is the description based on the law of friction. That's what we mean. Now, to add to this, I'm going to ask you a few more questions so that our understanding of phenomena of friction is perfect. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Chalo. Imagine that this is a duster which has a cross-sectional area of, देखो cross-sectional area, ये जो cross-sectional area है वो A है. कितना है? A.
A.
Not cross-sectional area, this area. So area in contact with tabletop. This is the tabletop. Are you with me?
Yes.
So area in contact is A. On this duster, normal to the surfaces in contact, I have applied force P. Are you with me?
Yes.
So this table is also going to apply equal and opposite reaction N. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Which is going to be equal to P. Happy? Are you with me?
So P plus mg will be the normal.
Yes,
right?
you are absolutely right. So therefore, I'm going to call this as massless duster. Are you with me?
Yes, sir. Then it's fine.
If it is massless, then P n is going to be equal to P. Or in other words, let us say that this P includes mg. Happy?
Okay.
So then this n is equal to P. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
And I apply force Q here. Tell me, what is the value of force Q that I will have to produce in order to commence sliding of this duster on the table? कितने amount का force मुझे लगेगा बताओ? So
Mu
coefficient
s
of
into
static
P.
friction, coefficient of static friction between the two surfaces is mu s. So I will have to produce at least mu s times P force. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
So mu s times P plus small delta. This force will ensure that the block is moving towards right. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
और in other words, इसको ही दूसरे तरीके से describe करते हैं. Mu s times P is the maximum value of Q for which there is no motion. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
तीन तरीके के डिस्क्रिप्शन में आपको बताने वाला हूं. Mu s times P is the maximum value of Q for which there is no relative motion between the duster and the surface. Happy?
Yes.
Mu s times P is the value of force that I must apply on the duster to have the impending relative motion between duster and table surface.
Yes,
Do you
sir.
agree? Impending motion मतलब मोशन अभी चालू नहीं हुआ है, बट Q को और थोड़ा बढ़ाओ हो जाएगा. Are you with me?
Yes.
हाँ. अब तीसरा डिस्क्रिप्शन सुनो. Q equal to mu s time P is the lowest value of force that will ensure that the relative motion between the two objects is sustained.
Yes, sir.
देखो ये थोड़ा सा डिफिकल्ट है समझने के लिए. समझो हमने जिस टाइम ऑब्जर्वेशन शुरू किया उस टाइम ऑलरेडी देयर वाज ए मोशन बिटवीन टेबल एंड दिस डस्टर. ऑलरेडी मोशन चालू था. आर यू विथ मी?
हाँ.
At that time, what will be the frictional resistance? Maximum mu k times P. where mu is coefficient of kinetic friction. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
And based on your 11, 12 standard knowledge, you know that mu k is less than mu s. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So coefficient of kinetic friction is less than coefficient of static friction. So when these objects were sliding, they were moving with reference to each other. When this duster was sliding on the table, mu k times p was the frictional force acting between them. Are you with me?
Yes.
As I go on reducing the speed of the object, finally, when it approaches zero, mu s times p is the smallest magnitude of q that I can apply on this object to maintain the motion. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
तो ये तीनों डिस्क्रिप्शन का मीनिंग एक ही है, किसी भी तरीके से डिस्क्राइब किया जा सकता है. I hope you understood what I am trying to say. Happy?
Yes.
So now what I am going to do is I am going to double this area of a duster which is in contact with the surface. मतलब अब दूसरा केस देखो क्या किया है. I have doubled the area. So now duster has area equal to 2 times A. Are you with me?
Yes.
But I have maintained this value of P as it is. P तो उतना ही रखा है. Happy?
Hmm.
So what is N now? Tell me. N is
P.
still equal to P. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
And now I am going to ask you a question. If I were to have this object in the state of impending motion, what is the value of R that I should apply? Tell me how much it is.
Mu s into R. अच्छा नहीं. Mu s into P.
Mu s into P. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
So if I apply R slightly greater than mu s into P, the object is going to slide on the surface. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Doesn't this result irritate you? जरा देखो यहाँ पे तो area in contact double हुआ है. Do you agree with me?
Hmm.
So intuitively you may tend to feel that the frictional resistance that can be offered between the surfaces should be double. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
पर वैसे हुआ नहीं.
Hmm.
This law of friction tells me that you are still going to require the same force to commence the motion as long as this P is untouched. Are you with me?
Hmm.
In
Yes.
other words, I am invoking a very famous statement that you must have mugged up during your 11th and 12th, that the frictional force, maximum frictional force that can be offered between the surfaces is directly proportional to the normal thrust between the two surfaces and is independent of area in contact. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
सरफेस एरिया कितना कांटेक्ट में है उसके ऊपर डिपेंड नहीं करता मैक्सिमम फ्रिक्शनल फोर्स. इट डिपेंड्स ओनली ऑन द नॉर्मल रिएक्शन एंड कोएफिशिएंट ऑफ स्टैटिक फ्रिक्शन between the surfaces. Are you with me?
Yes.
हाँ, so ये 11th 12th स्टैंडर्ड में हमने सीखा तो था, but at that time you were not posed the question of this sort, तो उसके वजह से इतना इरिटेट नहीं हुआ था वहां पे. लेकिन ये ऐसे डायग्राम्स देख के we get confused. अरे ऐसे कैसे हो रहा है? Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, before I answer that question, let me ask you one more sub question. Why are you calling it as coefficient of static friction? Bolo.
So because the body is not yet in motion, so
Yes, perfect.
at the starting we need more force.
Yes. So we are writing down the relationship between the force required to put the body in the state of impending motion. Motion has not begun. Are you with me? And normal reaction. So ये relationship हम कब लिख रहे हैं? When the motion is impending. That means motion has not began. So therefore we are still in the conditions of statics, and therefore we call it as coefficient of static friction. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So we have now understood why we call it as coefficient of static friction. अब उस question का आंसर देते हैं. A और 2A होने के बाद क्या होता है exactly? तो अब जरा यहाँ पे ध्यान दो. When there is contact area A, let us say there are n number of troughs and crests of this tabletop and duster which are in contact under force P, normal force P. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
कितने crest and troughs है? n number of crest and trough है. Are you with me?
Yes.
So let me draw the plan view of this duster. So I will denote the crest by dot. 1, 2, let us say 3 and 4. For understanding, let us say there are 4 crests. Are you with me? And there are 2 lines of crests. So let us say how many total crests are there? Tell me. 8.
8.
I am just taking an example, weird example. Now, how many troughs are there? Tell me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 twos are 10. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
And 1, 2, 3. 3 fours are 12. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
So 10 plus 12 कितने हुए बोलो?
22.
22 troughs are there and 8 crests are there. So how many total crests and troughs are there? Tell me. 30. Are you with me? As I double this area, अब क्या होने वाला है बताओ? When I double this, तो एरिया डबल किया है, मतलब क्या किया होगा? एक साइड डबल किया. Are you with me?
हाँ.
So ये thickness, ये जो width है, that I have doubled. तो इसमें अब कितने क्रेस्ट बैठेंगे? 1, 2, 3 and 4. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
और लाइन में कितने रहेंगे? 1, 2, 3 and 4. उतने ही रहेंगे.
हाँ.
Are you with me?
Yes.
I hope you are understanding what I am trying to say. Are you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So let us count now total number of crests and troughs that are prevalent. बोलो. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 4s are 16. So you have 16 crests. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
And how many troughs? So again 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. 5 4s are 20. And 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. 5 4s are 20.
20.
Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So ये कितने हुए बोलो?
16 plus 40.
16 plus 40, 56. So if you carefully, fairly observe that, this number is almost twice. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Almost twice. So अब जरा देखो, लेकिन these crests and troughs, they are interlocked under half the pressure. जरा देखो यहाँ पे प्रेशर कितना था? P by A. Do you agree with me? So you had 30 crests and troughs interlocked under the pressure of P by A. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
And here you have almost double crests and troughs, but they are under the lesser pressure, P by 2A. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
So therefore the effect is nullified. Crest के नंबर और ट्रफ के नंबर डबल हुए हैं, लेकिन प्रेशर भी हाफ हुआ है. Are you with me?
हाँ.
So therefore the final interlocking के वजह से आने वाला जो frictional force है वो सेम रहता है. We have one factor on advantageous side, but we have another factor on disadvantageous side. Are you with me?
Yes.
Okay. So that gives you the clue why this R or why this maximum frictional resistance between the surfaces should be independent of area in contact. Happy?
Yes.
ओके. सो अब तक हमने बहुत सारी चीजें सीखी है. क्या क्या चीजें सीखी है वो मैं आपको बताता हूँ. द फर्स्ट थिंग दैट वी हैव लर्नड इज देयर इज समथिंग कॉल्ड एज लॉ ऑफ फ्रिक्शन. As I go on increasing normal force or normal thrust, the maximum frictional resistance between the surfaces also goes on increasing. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Rougher the surface, the frictional resistance goes on increasing in a stiffer fashion. So that means this line will approach y-axis. Are you with me? Smoother the surface, this line will approach x-axis. For
Yes.
smooth surface, mu s is 0. For infinitely rough surface, mu s is infinity. For all normal surfaces, this line is going to lie between these two. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Mu s, the maximum frictional force offered between the two objects at a common surface is going to be independent of area in contact. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
It only depends upon the normal thrust and coefficient of static friction. चलो अब इसमें से सबसे लास्ट पार्ट आई एम गोइंग टू फ्रिक्शन के कंसेप्ट में सबसे लास्ट पार्ट. चलो imagine that this object is moving with reference to this object with the velocity of 2 meters per second. Are you with me?
Yes.
And this object has a velocity of 0 meters per second. So it is stationary with reference to the observer in the outside frame of reference. बाहर है, दोनों ऑब्जेक्ट्स के बाहर है, किसी भी एक ऑब्जेक्ट के ऊपर नहीं है. The observer is standing outside. Are you with me?
Yes.
Now tell me, what is the direction of frictional force that prevails between the two surfaces? कौन सी direction है? बोलो.
The opposite direction of motion.
Opposite to direction of motion. मतलब ऐसे?
Yes.
Are you with me? अब यही एक्सरसाइज को मैं जरा ट्विस्ट करता हूं. चलो. Now instead of this surface being stationary, it is moving with the velocity of 5 meters per second. अब बोलो कौन से डायरेक्शन में फ्रिक्शनल फोर्स?
So in the direction of motion of the block.
हाँ, सो यहाँ पे जो आप बोल रहे थे कि इट इज इन द अपोजिट टू द डायरेक्शन ऑफ मोशन, किसका डायरेक्शन ऑफ मोशन इज द क्वेश्चन. डू यू एग्री विथ मी?
Yes.
So the normally accepted notion of frictional force being opposite to the direction of motion is not adequate. It's not complete. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So if at all there is a motion or impending motion between the two objects, frictional force का direction कौन सा रहता है is the question. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Are you with me? चलो.
Yes.
अब मैं आपको दूसरा एक एग्जांपल देता हूं. Let us say this is a conveyor belt. Are you with me? एयरपोर्ट में जो रहता है ना कन्वेयर बेल्ट, एंड यू हैव ए बैग ऑन टॉप ऑफ दिस. आर यू विथ मी?
Yes.
Bag is moving in this direction. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Now, which is the direction of frictional force?
So in the
ऐसा है
direction
इसलिए
of
तो बैग
motion
ऐसे
of
मूव हो रहा है
the
ना.
bag. हाँ.
ऐसा है इसलिए तो बैग मूव हो रहा है. So it is in the direction of motion of bag itself. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
So इसका मतलब है हमारा अंडरस्टैंडिंग में कहीं ना कुछ गड़बड़ हो रही है. We are not very clear of direction of frictional force. Do you agree with me?
Okay.
हम ये दो सिचुएशंस में कॉन्ट्राडिक्टरी आंसर्स दे रहे हैं. यहाँ पे बोल रहे हैं फ्रिक्शनल फोर्स इज अपोजिट टू द डायरेक्शन ऑफ मोशन ऑफ ऑब्जेक्ट, और यहाँ पे बोल रहे हैं फ्रिक्शनल फोर्स इज इन द डायरेक्शन ऑफ मोशन ऑफ ऑब्जेक्ट. आर यू विथ मी?
Yes.
हाँ, तो इसका ही मतलब है कि फ्रिक्शनल फोर्स की डायरेक्शन कैसे डिसाइड करे, इसमें कुछ ना कुछ गड़बड़ है. हैप्पी? So let us clarify that point. Now we will never henceforth will say that the frictional force is in the direction of motion. It doesn't have any sense. क्यों? तो अब जरा ये situation consider करो. You consider this situation. The table is not moving with any velocity with reference to the observer who is external to the table, and let us say its velocity is 0 meters per second. Are you with me?
Yes.
And there is a book or a duster on table which is moving with the velocity 2 meters per second with reference to external observer. Happy? सबसे पहले तो मैं आपको क्वेश्चन पूछूंगा कि फ्रिक्शनल फोर्स किसने किसके ऊपर लगाया है. बताओ.
So the table on the duster.
you are saying that the frictional force is applied by the table on the duster. And what will the
Yes.
book or duster do? Won't it react?
हाँ
है ना? So that means both the objects, they are applying frictional force on one another. Do you agree with me?
yes
By Newton's third law, these two forces are actions and reactions. They must be equal and opposite. Do you agree?
yes
So whenever I say frictional force, you have to understand it is not an isolated force. It is pair of forces. Do you agree with me?
yes
So first thing, when I say frictional force, it is pair of forces. Happy?
yes
Both the objects are applying frictional force over one another. Are you with me?
yes
Chalo. So फिर if I ask you what is the direction of frictional force, how nonsensical question is that? Because it is a pair.
yes
Are you with me? The moment
Yes.
I say it is a pair, तो किसी एक frictional force का direction देके चलेगा क्या?
नहीं
नहीं. So therefore I have to be very precise in asking the question. If I ask you what is the frictional force applied on duster, now I will be able to give the direction. Are you with me?
yes
हाँ, तो अब जरा देखो इसका डायरेक्शन कैसे देना है. किसके ऊपर फ्रिक्शनल फोर्स अप्लाई हो रहा है बताओ? डस्टर के ऊपर.
Table.
देखो व्हाट इज द क्वेश्चन आस्क्ड टू मी. I have been asked the question, tell me the direction of frictional force applied on duster. Happy? On duster. This is the question being asked. So who is going to apply the force? Tell me. Who applies the force? Frictional force. बोलो.
एक मिनट
Table.
टेबल हाँ
If I were asked about the frictional force applied on duster, दूसरा कुछ है ही नहीं, दो ऑब्जेक्ट्स टच में है. So therefore कौन अप्लाई करने वाला है frictional force? Table. Do you agree with me?
yes sir
So on duster the force will be applied by the table. Is it very clear?
yes
अब जरा यहाँ पे ध्यान दो. You station now the observer on table. I will ask the observer to stand on table. Are you with me? Why? Because I want to find out frictional force applied by table on the duster. So make the observer stand on table which applies the frictional force. समझ में आ रहा है?
हाँ
Now with reference to that observer, how is the duster moving? Is it moving towards right?
away from the observer yes
Is it moving towards right? So what are you
Yes.
observing? You are observing velocity of duster with reference to table. Do you agree with
Yes.
me? Because you have stationed the observer on table. समझ में आ रहा है? And it is towards which direction? Tell me. Towards right.
to right
In this case. Happy?
yes
So now the table will apply the frictional force in opposite direction to this velocity. Are you with me?
yes
So on duster, if I draw the diagram, the table is going to apply frictional force in this direction. Happy?
yes
In this case. समझ में आ रहा है कि नहीं? बोलो. Now, let me ask you another question. What is the direction of frictional force applied on table? डस्टर ने टेबल के ऊपर लगाया हुआ फोर्स कौन सा है? कौन से डायरेक्शन में है? Are you with me?
in the opposite direction of FR
No, wait, but we will stick to this notation. So who is applying the force? Tell me. Duster.
duster
On table, who is applying the frictional force? Duster. Do you agree with me?
yes
So I will station now the observer on duster. समझ में आ रहा है?
yes
Now with reference to the observer on duster, table is moving in which direction?
To the left.
To the left. Very good. So what I am observing, now I am going to observe velocity of table with reference to the observer situated on duster. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
And it is towards left. So therefore, the duster must be applying a frictional force opposite to this velocity on the table. Do you
Yes.
agree with me? So now can you precisely answer me the question, how should I decide the direction of frictional force? It is not definitely opposite to the direction of motion. उसको कोई meaning ही नहीं है. Because frictional force is a pair. It is applied by both the objects on one another. So if I am asking you to find out frictional force exerted by object B on object A, are you with me?
Yes.
Then you are going to find out relative velocity of object A with reference to B और उसके opposite direction में object B ने A के ऊपर force लगाया है. Frictional. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
This is the answer. So you have to always look at relative velocity and you have to station the observer on the object which is going to apply the frictional force. Happy?
Yes, sir.
चलो इसको एक और चीज से एक और एग्जांपल लेके क्लैरिफाई करते हैं. The second example. Now table is moving with 5 meters per second. Are you with me? And you have a duster placed here. Acha, Shaunak, is it from your side?
No, sir, it's from Yuvraj.
Not your side. So others, I request them to switch off.
Yuvraj, close.
युवराज झगड़ा मत कर.
Yuvraj.
Yuvraj, please unmute yourself. I think he has muted. So now, this is 5 meters per second. Are you with me? And this velocity is 2 meters per second. Happy?
Yes, sir.
This is duster. This is table. I am interested in frictional force on duster. Frictional force on duster. So who is applying the force? Tell me.
The table.
Table. So where should I station the observer? On table.
On the table.
With reference to table, this book is moving where?
To the left.
To the left, because the table is moving at a faster rate than the book. So observer on the table will feel that this object is moving towards left. Are you with me?
Yes.
This is velocity of duster with reference to table. So therefore frictional resistance offered on the duster by table must be towards right. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Great. Now let us write down the frictional resistance. Frictional force on table. Happy?
Yes.
So when I'm looking at the frictional force on table, who is applying the force?
The duster.
Duster. So where should I station the observer?
On the duster.
On the duster. With reference to duster, how is table moving? Towards right.
To the right.
So therefore, this is velocity of table with reference to duster. So therefore, on table, the duster must be applying a frictional force of this sort. Happy?
Yes.
So we have understood two things here. Two things are this. One, frictional force is not a single force. Frictional force always prevails in pairs. Do you agree with me? And the direction of each of the frictional force will be decided by the procedure that I described below. Happy?
Yes.
Okay. So फ्रिक्शन के बारे में बहुत सारी चीजें जानने को मिली है. कौन कौन सी लॉ ऑफ फ्रिक्शन सीखा उसका direction के बारे में सीखा. Are you with me? We understood that the maximum frictional force is independent of area in contact. अब लास्ट वाला सिचुएशन, सिर्फ लास्ट वाला सिचुएशन डिस्क्राइब करने वाला हूं. इमेजिन दैट देयर आर टू सरफेसेस इन कॉन्टैक्ट एज शोन. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
This is not necessarily circular. It is not non-circular curve. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
चलो, और इस ऑब्जेक्ट के ऊपर बहुत सारे फोर्सेस एक्ट हो रहे हैं, P1, P2 अप टू Pn. Are you with me? Pn. ऐसे फोर्सेस एक्ट हो रहे हैं. एंड द क्वेश्चन दैट आई हैव बीन आस्क्ड इज, अंडर द एक्शन ऑफ ऑल these forces, I want to know what is the maximum frictional resistance that can prevail between the two objects, the curved one and this block. Are you with me? So I have to find out Fr max. समझ में आ रहा है प्रॉब्लम?
Yes, sir.
हाँ, तो क्या लिखना पड़ेगा? By law of friction, the maximum frictional resistance that can be offered must be equal to how much? Tell me.
Mu s into vertical component of all the forces.
No, mu s times n, normal reaction. Are you with me?
Okay. Yes.
ये है नॉर्मल. नाउ टेल मी व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय नॉर्मल हियर. यहाँ पे तो ठीक था, दोनों सरफेसेस इन कांटेक्ट दे वेर प्लेन सरफेसेस, तो दोनों को नॉर्मल एक ही था. आर यू विथ मी?
Yes.
व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय नॉर्मल डायरेक्शन हियर? एक सरफेस जो है वो तो प्लेन है, दूसरा सरफेस जो है वो कर्व है. व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय नॉर्मल?
Like given the area of contact, the normal acting on the area of contact.
Yes, but look at this figure. So do you understand that wherever there is a contact between these two surfaces, it has to be along the common tangent to the surfaces? Do you agree with me?
Yes.
तो मैंने इस straight line surface को भी tangent निकाला. That is that surface itself. And if I draw the tangent to the curved surface at the location of contact, it is going to be a common tangent. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
तो ये जो कॉमन टेंजेंट रहता है एट द लेवल ऑफ कॉन्टैक्ट, उसको जो मैं नॉर्मल ड्रॉ करूंगा, दैट इज माय एंड डायरेक्शन. आर यू विथ मी?
Yes, sir.
सो इजंट इट गोइंग टू बी द रेडियल डायरेक्शन? टेल मी.
Yes.
रेडियल डायरेक्शन एट द पॉइंट ऑफ कॉन्टैक्ट or at the line of contact is going to be normal direction in this case. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
So I will have to resolve all these forces in two components, one along the normal direction, another along the common tangent direction, and I will have to algebraically add all the components in normal direction. That will be n. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
So be very careful when we are defining what is normal. Happy?
Yes.
Okay, so far so good. So we have discussed lot of things as far as friction is concerned, but we have not yet touched the experiment. So what is the experiment that we are going to do? So we are going to deal with belt friction this time. So what is belt friction? इसका इंट्रोडक्शन करके आज रुक जाते हैं, ये एक्सपेरिमेंट कंप्लीट नेक्स्ट टाइम करेंगे. आर यू विथ मी?
Yes.
सो व्हाट डू आई मीन बाय बेल्ट फ्रिक्शन? इसका सिर्फ मैं आपको theoretical background बताता हूँ. Experiment we will perform in the next time. Imagine that this is a pulley. Are you with me?
Yes.
The pulleys are typically free to rotate. Happy? But imagine that this is a locked pulley. That means it is not free to rotate. Happy? And now if you apply, let us say you have a mass m suspended on one side. You have mass m suspended on one side. So what is the force corresponding to it? It is its self weight, that is mg. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
This I am going to call it as w. Happy? Now I have a plate attached here, and I'm going to go on adding masses to this, such that the motion is just about to commence in this direction. Are you able to understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
मैं यहाँ पे masses ऐड करते गया 1 2 3 और फोर्थ मास ऐड करने के बाद मोशन यहाँ पे चालू हुआ. सो अप टू 3 ये जो मासेस सब मैंने लिए उनकी सम की, दैट इज द मास रिक्वायर्ड ऑन द लेफ्ट हैंड साइड फॉर इंपेंडिंग मोशन. इसके बाद थोड़ा सा भी मास ऐड किया, द मोशन इज गोइंग टू कमेंस फ्रॉम राइट हैंड साइड टू लेफ्ट हैंड साइड. आर यू विथ मी?
Yes, sir.
तो आप सिर्फ मुझे ये बात बताओ, ये जो मास रहेगा जहां पे ये मोशन इंपेंडिंग है, आर यू विथ मी?
Mhm.
The motion is impending in this direction. Will it be equal to mg, greater than mg, or less than mg? Tell me.
So it might be less than equal to, because in this case we are adding the masses and we don't know the masses of like each mass that we are adding.
We know. I am saying we can measure.
Acha. Then it will be equal to mg.
Equal to mg. Anyone else has any other things? बोलो. तो अब जरा यहाँ पे ध्यान दो. Let us look at what is happening. देखो, it will be equal to mg provided that this contact is frictionless. Are you with me?
Yes.
If there is a friction prevalent here, then I have to counter for two things. One is this W and another is this frictional resistance. Impending motion is in this direction. So frictional resistance will be opposite to relative direction of motion. So it is going to be in this direction. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
So Fr plus W should be countered by this mass. So therefore it will be greater than mg. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So now what are we going to do is, we are going to, knowing this, we will develop a relationship between this mg and this mg. So mass added on left hand side for lifting the mass on right hand side. इन दोनों के बीच में हम relationship develop करेंगे, and from that relationship we are going to estimate the coefficient of static friction between this rope and the locked pulley. Are you with me?
Yes.
So that μs will be experimentally verified using this experiment. That is what this experiment is about. This we will do in the next class. Are you with me? So अभी तक जो मैंने फ्रिक्शन के बारे में सारे चीजें बताई, those are absolutely necessary when we start the chapter on friction. With this we will close for today. What I am going to do is I am going to give you another.
नेक्स्ट टाइम सर पुलिस का ही रहेगा ना, मतलब
Next time पुलिस का रहेगा. Yes.
ओके ओके.
So what I am going to do now is, for attendance, I am going to share with you a link where you will put your attendance and then you can leave the meeting. Just give me a second.